everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic Eye on Board Game Geek, and on YouTube, just getting ready to do yet another another set of turns for Return of the Heroes. So I'm going to get right to it. Not much point in wasting time. I'll give you a quick recap. Our heroes have managed to call out the nameless evil who has found his way into his tower, and only one of our heroes has managed to complete a portion of his epic mission quest that will allow him to even attack the main villain. The others are still wandering around completing secondary quests, which are called tasks that they have on their board. And we have a number of those, and as we go to each turn, I'll remind you of what those are. So we did have a bunch of stuff purchased, so people are full of items, and the only one that doesn't have a lot of items is our fighter, but he's just tough, so that's okay. But we are going to probably need to get some healing done for some of these folks. They're getting a little damaged. Let's just get right to it and continue on with our turn. We're going to start with Aegon Stormblade. So here's Aegon. You can see he's experienced up. He is a fighter to the nth degree. He is about to get, if he gets one more experience point, he will max out his ability to fight and swing a weapon without some kind of special item. Right now he's escorting the white stag down to the corner of the map on P6, which I'll show you where that is. But in the meantime, he is also going to get this done. He basically has the key, and he just needs to get to Daphne and free her, and he's not that far away. So he's heading down to do that. He also has a mission to visit the house of another player and take one of his experience. So he's closest to the wizard's house, but she didn't have any experience, so that's kind of pointless. I think he might just hang on to that one for a little bit. But right now we're going to go take his turn. Now he is damaged. He's only got 2 health left, but he's doing okay. We can get through here without having to do, I think, a lot of battling. We'll have to see. So here he is, right here. This is Aegon. He's in the same space as our elf Eleanor, and they're trekking around the lands of the lizard people. Now, his mission is just a little bit south of him. I'll just back up a bit so you can see it right here. That's Daphne. She's in a prison, but look, he's going to have to either go around to all the way around here or come around this way. I'm not sure. Either way is fraught with danger, and but he will not encounter these lizard people because that's part of somebody else's major quest. And since he can move forward, that's probably the way he's going to go. So let's do that. He's going to go 1, 2. Again, he does not encounter them, even though they're a combat encounter, because they actually belong to the quest of Eleanor, who has to attack the lizard people. 3 and 4. So that was his turn for this round. Now we're going to go on to Sybil Spellsinger. Now Sybil, she's stocked up on items. She's got all kinds of stuff going on, and she also has the magic broom, which is pretty cool. It's not explained in the book, but I did look it up, so I'll just explain it again for you quickly. The magic broom, basically to acquire the magic broom, you need to make a magic skill test at -2, and that's to basically gain the power over the broom so you can use it. And then she gets to fly around. She can fly quite handily around these places, but we have to roll a die, and if she rolls a 1, the broom gets a mind of its own and decides to go to the witch's hut without any aid. She also has a +1 movement item right now, but she's going to have to give that up, and to give that up she needs to go to I5, which is a couple of tiles over, actually all the way on the other side of the board actually. But she's got some other things to do as well. She has the crystal, so she needs to bring that to M6, also on the other side of the board, and she can bring a message to a house, which is on the other side of the board and on the top. So she's nowhere near anything that's helpful to her. In fact, she's closest to her her mission, but she's very injured, so I think she's actually going to use the broom to try and get home and get healed. So let's go look at her on the table. As you can see, she's only got 1 health of 2, and if she loses a fight, she's out of luck, so we don't want that to happen. Let's go to her character on the board and see what we're going to do. So the way the broom works is we're allowed to pick any adjacent tile and go to any tan space, like this or this or this. And so she's going to do that. She is going to pick up, and she's going to try to fly all the way to 10. And she can do that, but she's going to have to roll a die. So let's go to the dice roller and see if she rolls a 1 or not. I call this the dice roller, but it's just a dice bowl. Okay, let's roll. 2. God, that was close. I saw it bounce off the 1. I thought she was going to roll it, but she didn't. So she's safe, and she's completed her movement. Now we got a big turn for our dwarf. He is finally able to complete the first part of his task, and I'll show you what that is. So he's just going to move there out of his 2 movement, and he's going to complete this. The first part of it anyway. It says, buy the eternal candles from the candlestick maker for 4 gold pieces, and receive 1 experience point. Ignite the candles in the mysterious chapel. So from there, he's going to have to go down to the bottom to get to the temple, and take that with him. And eventually, he'll end up with something cool. So to start with, he does have to spend 4 gold, which is exactly what he has. So that goes away, and he is now able to pick up this item. Now, as you can see, we flip it over. Now it shows there that he does get an experience point right there in the corner, but when you flip it over, you see that the eternal candles tells you where you need to take it. So that goes on his board, actually, in the bottom spaces on his board as an item, and we're going to get him an experience point as well. I think he is going to continue to be. He's got a bow, which is helping him with archery, but he's still a better fighter, and he's only 1 away from getting to roll three dice in a physical combat. So he is going to take an orange experience, which now grants him 3 dice. So here he is. You can see he's got his candle. He's now got 3 experience points, which means he'll roll 3 dice in combat and pick the lowest 2. And that marks the end of his turn. Now we do have to, since we did take a tile off of the board, we have to go to the bag and put something else on the board. A market again. Wow, we've pulled this. Is this the bigger market? No, it's the same market I keep pulling out. Anyway, he's right near the market, but he just spent all his money, so I doubt our dwarf friend is going back there. But now we're going to move on to Eleanor. But while we're here, we'll just take a look at Eleanor's sheet. She did find some armor, some male armor, that gives her a bonus to attack, but I think that's a -1 movement. I have to look it up. And then she also has this magical staff, which she needs to bring to the boat. Then she has the staff here in hand, and she can use it while she's taking it there. But I'm going to look up the armor, I think it's chainmail armor, in the guide and see if that is actually, that -1 that's erroneously on the tile equates to a -1 movement. I would have to assume that it does, but it's hard to say. That is not the armored vest. That is armor. Armor suit. Yes, that does decrease the movement allowance by 1. It gives +2 artificial hit points, which is what you see here. Okay, let's go to her action. She's going to only have 3 movement this turn. I messed that up last turn. She took her 4 moves, but that's okay. Let's go back to the table. I may not have. I don't remember when she bought this. I think it was during the dwarf's turn. The dwarf's turn, so she would not have been here. But anyway, she's going to move 3. She's right here, so she's going to go 1 and 2. Actually, she only needs to move 2 to get to there. So if she did have to start from here, she still would have made it. And she's going to take on this the lizard people. Now they only have 1 hit, and she can use any of her talents. So she's obviously going to use her archery talent, which is a 7, but it's got a -1, so that'll make it a 6. She needs a 6 or less on 2 dice. If she succeeds, she gets gold and an experience. So let's go roll her attack. Now she really wants to make it for this, because if she succeeds at it, she will complete the first part of her mission, her big mission. 6 exactly, so she did it. She succeeded in killing the lizard people in their village. She fought them and killed them. She's actually a terrible person now, because she raided these poor lizard people living in peace and struck them down. But anyway, let's go back and take care of her experience and her gold. Now, she is going to stick with what she's good at and get another die. So she's going to take a green experience, and then she also gets a gold, and that completes the front part of her lizard people. Now we flip that over, and it's got the silver hammer. So she just now has to take that home with her, I believe, right? She's got the... No, she needs to, let's see, Axe of the Gnomes. No, she needs to take the silver hammer to the gnomes on C8. So she's pretty far away from that. And then she'll get the magnificent axe in return. But the gnomes are not out yet, so we're going to have to wait till they come out before she can return those. She's pretty far away, so she's going to have a lot more to do after that. That is going to complete one full round. So now we're going to go into our next round and continue back with Aegon Stormhammer. Aegon is really close to rescuing Daphne, but he's got an encounter in his way, and he's not the healthiest, but he's going to do it. He's going to step up here and see what this encounter is. Oh, it's another task. Okay. He only has 2, so it says bring this to the monk at the convent, which is, looks like I-12. Oh, I-2. Okay, yeah, I see where that is on the map. There is a convent there. So he just needs, he found something. Whatever it is, it says bring this. It doesn't say what it is. Bring this to the monk. Okay. He's bringing it to the monk. He's going to take that because that is too good to pass up. It's worth an experience and a gold. But that ends his movement. So he's one step away from completing the second part of his mission, and then he'll be able to take his awesome weapon home with him to hang on the wall or whatever he gets. So that is going to be his turn. Now we're going to move on to Sybil again. So Sybil doesn't need to use her carpet or broomstick for this. She's just going to go 1, 2, and while she's there, she is going to regain her health. So I'm just putting a bead back on her sheet, and that is going to end her turn. It seems like a wasteful turn, but with only 1 hit, that was too risky. But now she can fly across the board and get to where she needs to go rather quickly, which will be to take on these. Take on these bad guys that are in the. They're called the Firewalkers, and here they are, right here, and they are in this space of J8, where they're doing some kind of ritual dance. Okay, that's going to end her turn. Now we're going to go on to Grow Frosthammer. Grow is going to move south. He's got to continue on so that he can get his relic. It is already out for him, so he goes 1, he's going to have to fight this giant, which he's okay with, and 2, he's going to battle the giant while he's there. And he's got his strength to do it with. The giant is a -2 strength, so he's going to need a 4, but he's got 3 dice. Let's hope he can do it. He's not injured yet, so we're going to give it a shot. Okay, so he's got a total of 3 dice. Remember, he's got to roll, he's a 6, so he needs a 4. Let's see if he can pull it off. He did not, in a big bad way. So there's nothing he can do to save himself there. He took a point of damage from that giant, who's been pretty tough on our guys. That would have given him an experience point, but instead he takes a hit. So here he is. We're just going to remove one of these beads. He took a hit, and now we're going to continue on with Eleanor's turn. Eleanor's pretty close to one of her mission objectives, so she's going to go 1, 2, and we're going to have this encounter here. We're going to see what this is. It's another task. Find Don Herbiro. Oh, this is awesome for her. He instructs you at range combat. +2 on a 1 to 4, and then getting this one, oh, by the way, that we didn't, just case in point, the last 2 turns we didn't take any tiles off the board. That's why we didn't draw from the bag, but we will now because she's going to take this mission to go see Don Herbiro, which will increase her archery. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's go back to the bag now and draw something out for our replacement tile. Okay, let's see what we got here. Maybe the quest for one of the other guys will come out. No, a servant on P7. Okay, that's back in the corner. There's a little cabin in the woods in P7. I think one of the guys has to go to. Who needed to go to the house in the woods? I think it was. I don't know. I can't find it now. Was it our fighter? No, he's escorting the white. Oh, it's the white stag. He's got to go to P6, which is a hidden location down the bottom corner. That's where he's going next after he saves Daphne. Okay. Anyway, that was Eleanor. So that's the end of our second round. I think I'm just going to keep going and do another round. We'll start right away with Aegon Stormblade. Well, heck, we were practically on him already. Anyway, he's just moving 1 simply to get this. So he has the key. He has unlocked Daphne from her basically her prison cell that she was in. So he gets to take this. Now he's got to take her to N5, which is the temple, in order to get his item. So he has now got both of his items. Now we did take some off the board, so we do have to replace the tile, but he did get both of his items, which is awesome. Let's see what we get. Oh, what is this? C8. It's a dwarf guy with no name. Well, this is the Axe of the Gnomes. So this is the gnomes that are Dwarf has to go to. So his quest is out now in completion, and he can finish it. But we're going to go on right now to our wizard, or the mage, Sybil Spellsinger. Because she's down here at her house. She's going to use a broom because she's got to get some places fast. Primarily all the way on the other side of the board. Now she does not want to go there because she doesn't want to face this guy. But what she might do, because she can move, she can move to any tile orthogonally to any beige space. I think she might just move to 1 because then that will allow her to get to this one over here at the temple. So now keep in mind, where was he? Oh, he was here on 2. So she's, see, that would normally be 1, 2, 3. Actually, she can get all the way to 3 without even doing that. So I think she's, because she doesn't want to risk it. She might also go just take that. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, she's going to her firewalkers over there. That's okay. This will still work. And she's got a 3. That's as far as she can get this turn. Well, let's use our broom and go to there. So first we have to go roll for our broom. If we roll a 1, she's going to get transported onto the same, well, closer to where she needs to be. So that's kind of cool. But let's go roll the die and see if we roll a 1. Now if we roll that 1, that broom is going to go take her on a ride. But we did not. We rolled a 3, so she is safe there, and she's going to have that encounter. Okay, back here, let's see what her encounter is. It is a task. Bring this fire salamander to the volcano at D7. Wow, that couldn't be much farther away. She's full on tasks, so she cannot take any more tasks until she completes one. So that is the end of her turn, but since we drew a tile off the table, we have to put one back. Boom! What do we get? Mirabar. What does she do? Mirabar is a magic combat instructor. Wow, that's pretty cool. Nice. She is going to be on 03. Wow, she's right up here in the corner of the tile. She lives in this little mushroom hut there. I think I know. I mean, we're delaying her turn, but man, it wouldn't hurt to get her magic up to 8. Wouldn't that be cool? Anyway, let's continue on. Our dwarf, man, I don't know. Does he want to try and... He's not going to bother trying to defeat this darn creature again. But let's see if he can defeat this guy, J6. It only requires archery and a -1. That would put him at a 4 and no bonuses. Yeah. Actually, I put the market on the... Oh, that's the cart maker. If you have 4 gold, that's an awesome thing. But we're going to go that direction. So we're going to go 1, 2... And he's just not very fast. It'll take him a while, but he'll get there. Okay, now let's go to Eleanor. Eleanor is incredibly close to her mission objective. So she's just going to go 1, 2 right to here, and she's going to complete the magical staff mission. Unfortunately, that means she's got to give up the magical staff. It says bring it to the boat. So she's going to hand it off to the boatman there. It's going to give her a gold and 2 experience, so it's well worth it. But she does lose the magic +1 item that she bought for 2 gold. So basically, she replaced half of her gold from this, but got a lot of experience as a result. Now that is a market tile, so that's going to go back to the market. And then this tile, so she basically is going to pull one out for taking this tile off the board, but she immediately succeeds at this at L4, and then gets, let's do that, her experience and her gold. Okay, so here she is. So she already has 1 gold piece. This is going to give her a second one. And then she's going to definitely increase in her archery. And then I'm debating, because she's going to get a big bump in archery soon as well. I'm debating on giving her 1 in magic, just in case she needs to use another stat, even though it's only a 4 right now. It'll be to 1 point from getting 3 dice to roll. Okay, let's do that. Let's diversify her a little bit. Now, we're going to draw another tile from the bag. See what that is. Another servant, D7. Well, they are definitely coming out in force now. D7's way up at the top in the middle of the mountains. And then we're going to put that task away. It goes away once it's complete. So boom, that is done. And we are moving on. Okay, that is the end of Eleanor's turn, so that's going to end 3 full rounds for us. I think we're going to end it there. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you're enjoying this playthrough. It's starting to go pretty fast. We're closing in. I know it may not seem like it, but we're kind of closing in on the end of this. It might not be too many more turns before our fighter at least takes a whack at the. All he's got to do is get home, and then he can take a whack at the bad guy. And for him to go home, he's got to go back up to the top corner in the A tile, where at space 7, where his house is, and drop off the. He can drop off the item and then heal while he's there, but he's still got to take Daphne to the temple. That's his first step. So we're still several turns away unless he can somehow magically get to the temple faster. But he does have some enemies to go through on his way as well. So we'll see you next time, and I hope you're enjoying it. Thanks so much for watching. We're playing Return of the Heroes.